Hello, my name is Charlize Wessel, and I'm going to be speaking about the positive and negative effects of gentrification. Gentrification leads to inequality in the communities, but it also allows renovation, which in many cases is seen as economic growth. I have seen communities where small businesses are replaced with large corporations. An example of this is in Inglewood. The SoFi Stadium has allowed for the cost of living to increase because of the large amounts of tourism. Also, over 70,000 people have experienced homelessness, and that is because of gentrification. Gentrification is the beautification of homes at the expense of kicking people of low income out of their homes. What will happen to these communities and these families once they are kicked out? Gentrification, first, I will be speaking about the low income families being displaced from their communities, and I will also mention how gentrification leads to neighborhoods having impactful renovations. Gentrification leads to inequality in the neighborhoods. Low income families are being displaced from their communities, and it is because of renters increasing their prices and using their power in favor of only themselves. This was said by Emily Chong from Georgetown Journal. And it's not only families that are being kicked out of these communities, it is also businesses being kicked out because the rent is too high, and this allows for larger corporations to come in and raise the prices, and a lot of people cannot afford these prices. That was said by Robert Smith. And gentrification also increases homelessness. They put a burden on the government because the government has to give these people money and shelter so that these people can survive. That was also said by Robert Smith. Also, young professionals who used to stay there forever and create a community, now that does not happen. Young professionals come in and they leave and go at whatever rate, and this creates no stability in these communities, and it allows for there to be a lack of connection in these neighborhoods. That was said by Robert Smith. Also, gentrification leads to these neighborhoods having impactful renovations. Gentrification leads to improvements like creating cleaner and more modern neighborhoods, which also Robert Smith mentioned, and it can improve the city's infrastructure like new buildings, streets, and sidewalks. Also, the higher income residents have lower crime rates, so the crime rates of the lower income residents makes that these communities have less crime rates, because once these people with more money come in, there is less crime, which was said by the Illinois Wesleyan University. And a study from MIT in 2017 showed that gentrification took over rent controlled. So the crime in those areas dropped around 16%. Reduction in crime is not only the result of gentrification, it is also from a number of factors such as people and businesses investing in these communities and creating more safer and cleaner communities. So, to summarize, gentrification allows communities to grow and prosper. It allows for them to have a much more safer environment, but it takes away the diversity of these communities. Cleanliness is something that gentrification allows, but is it really worth it for the price of a cleaner neighborhood when it's destroying the history of many of these neighborhoods? How would any of us feel if we were kicked out because we do not fit the image of these communities and our economics do not allow us to live there anymore? Everyone deserves to live in a home where they will not be questioned and will feel safe under any circumstance. Thank you.